got it, Mayor, or are you waiting?
Yep, nope, you're streaming and you are now also recording. So you are good to go.
Okay, at 6 o'clock, we'll call the Finance Committee to order. Brian, roll call.
Keller,
Present.
Cosgray,
Present.
Hankinson.
He is still on his way home and hopefully will join late.
Okay, good. Also in the attendance, we got the mayor, of course, the fiscal officer, Brian, and Bard. Okay. Approval of the minutes of April the 12th, 2021.
Yeah, I read through them. I'll motion that we accept the minutes.
And I'll second the motion. Roll call, Brian.
Okay, Cosgray,
Yes.
Keller.
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Visitors, I don't see anybody on. Do you, Mayor?
I do not, other than Barb.
Yeah, Barb. Okay, goal for 2021. Keep spending within the 2021 appropriations, which I know the last meeting we were doing okay. And I'm sure we'll find out when we get into new business. Old business, any old business, I see none on the agenda. So we'll go into new business. Brian, give us the monthly.
Okay. Well, as you see in the packet that was either put in the mailbox or sent out last week, we had a bank and book balance of $2,100,903.56. Total receipts $298,705, payments $261. We had one deposit in transit, outstanding payment $7,300, and the $5 variance there between the bank and the it's just this automatic transfer between the two accounts. The $5 between the sweep account and the general account. So, any questions on the front page there?
I don't have any.
None here.
Okay, then flipping to page 3. Of course, I already said outstanding checks of $7,300. There they are. One deposit in transit. Of course, that was a credit card transaction. And that's pretty much it for the reconciliation.
Okay. Okay, move right on, Brian.
All right, next is the payment listing.
Okay.
It's
I
4
got it
pages.
here.
$261,182 last month. Really don't see anything out of the ordinary. There's a few transactions there's a couple there for Cots Concrete. That was for the pool. There was two $16,000 transactions there. We got a few pipelines because the team is buying their supplies for the water projects that's coming up here shortly. Getting ready for that. South Central, I guess South Central was a little high again last month. All of that except $112 is the sewer plant.
Hey, Brian, on the last page,
Yeah.
there's
Last page.
5,400 to Scott Woodworth.
Yes, that's
what is that?
That is for. I was getting ready to mention that. That is for down payment on the painting of the street barn and the police department and that contract. It's True Paints, but it's Scott Wadsworth is the owner. So I write the check.
Okay.
We had a couple
So is
trades.
it?
What's that?
So is that the paint or is that the company that's going to paint it?
That's the company that's going to paint it. So that's
Okay,
a down payment for his services as well as the paint and stuff.
okay.
He required 50% down.
Okay, so painting, you're saying painting the service barn and what else?
The police department, and there was something else. I think he's doing the old firehouse too, I believe.
Oh, firehouse? Okay,
Well, if he's doing the old firehouse, he was out doing it this morning because they were painting it when I walked by with the dogs at 11 o'clock.
okay. Yeah, I seen where it's been scraped a little bit last week while I was up there.
And then also you'll see a couple transactions, well, maybe one for this month. Kilbarger Construction, that is for the dumping of the sludge at the landfill down in Athens County. That's just half of it. The other half came out in April or May. This is April, isn't it? So it came out just last week.
Okay.
So the sludge, we don't have a farmer that picks that up or anything or haul it? We take it to the landfill, is that what you're saying?
This year, that was, Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was when we've had all those issues at the plant and we had to get rid of the sludge really fast. So we took it to the land.
I think this would be the part of the membrane washout and cleaning and stuff like that. We can confirm that at council because Brad will be joining tonight for a few minutes. So, but I believe Brian is correct that is we needed to get rid of that sludge and farmers couldn't take it at the time, and so we had to pay to dispose of it.
Okay.
I think I hit the big dollars. Are there any other questions on the payment listing?
No, I didn't see, I'm going through it when you was going through it, I didn't see anything. Wade, do you have any questions on any of them?
No, I didn't have any questions.
Okay. All right, that takes care of that.
Let's see. Then we go to the next page, which is finance report. I was able to put 3 years worth of data on the Star Ohio, as you see. As you can see from 2019, it has steadily decreased. Last month was $33. We have and $33 is even more than what we got from Fairfield National or from the bank. So, and there's a lot more money in the bank than there is in Star Ohio. But as Chuck, you requested that information, and I finally figured out how to do that on this PowerPoint. Plus, so as you can see, from 2019 is a green bar, 20 is last year, and of course the yellow bar is, or orange, whatever color that is this year. So you can see it's steadily declining.
Yeah, sure can.
Rita, last month.
Too bad we don't have money in stock. It would be going up, but that's
you know what's funny about that, Chuck, is I looked to see if that was an option for us, and I guess I can kind of agree with it, there's actually a state law that prohibits us from investing in certain risk stuff like the stock market, because we have to protect the public funds we get. But I was thinking the same thing. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just buy a mutual fund or some index fund right now that would just be going up and up and up? But
I know there's no stopping right now. Yeah. I was just saying that. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, we can't do it, but boy, we're really missing out though right now. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Rita last month was $97,624.89. Slightly above the previous year at this time. I just looked at the distribution report for last month. Right now, income tax, oh, my computer, there we go. If I can pull it up again. We're about,
I gotta say, Brian,
what's that? We're
I
about,
gotta say, okay, go ahead and finish, then I'll ask my question.
oh, I was just saying, I didn't add, I was gonna bring a grand total what we've got so far but I had the report up, now I don't have it, but I was looking at it, we're about 5% short of last year right now. And when at this same time last year.
Which isn't too bad given everything. Though
No.
I guess we would expect, of course, we get the big spike in May in 2020 because everybody pays their taxes and then, they come in. But since they delayed the due date to May 15th, are we expecting kind of a larger increase in June of this year as opposed to May, like we had in previous years?
Well, last year they it wasn't due till May too. Oh no, it was June last year, wasn't it? June 15th.
So last year was actually
Yeah.
July 15th, and everything was pushed back throughout the whole year. Given the history through May, we'll probably see. Now probably won't see the same as last year. We got a bonus check of like 36,000 in May. They do that every year when they do an audit, and they give us a refund of X. They usually do that in June, but when COVID hit you'll probably see a decrease in May, and then I'll probably see an increase in June, and then the rest of the year will probably be just withholding payments mostly, or and estimated payments. So, but
Okay.
yeah, gross collections so far this year, if I'm looking at that correct, is roughly 305,000.
Okay.
Appropriation status, Chuck, yes. Let's see. We're right around where we should be, except the sewer operating fund, which that's understandable because of all the issues they've been having. So we're slightly above the curve in the sewer fund right now. Hopefully that'll come down. Because I think we should be at 412. My calculations are correct.
Should be right at about 33%.
Yeah, 33%.
Yeah, 4 months. Yeah.
We're right at the general fund. We're about 5 percentage points ahead of the sewer fund.
Yep.
And then revenue status. Now, franchise fees is a little bit less, but that's because we get that payment quarterly. So that'll bump up as soon as we get that next check, which probably will be in June, maybe June. Local government's above the curve. Income taxes for the general fund is right at where we should be. So revenues are still coming in right now.
Well, that's good.
And then the last page I had, of course, is appropriation status broken down by the line items. In the general fund, and then
So that's up, but there's nothing looking through it here. There isn't anything that's jumping way out.
no.
I mean,
Grand
police
total's
is down,
not-
street lighting's right on. The county health district, I mean, we know what that's going to be, so.
Yeah, that's one payment. The other payment comes out in August, so.
Right.
Which I got notification this week that it's going up again. So, well, I budget. Maybe. Well, I better check that again. I better check that figure.
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It is. I might have our exact number. I gotta go through my notes.
I have it. It's just it's in the office right now.
Okay. But yeah, I don't see anything on there jumping out as
Now, if you
really
look at
high.
if you look at the grand total, all of funds, it says we're about 50%, and that's because we're about 50% there, and that's because of a lot of that has to do with the rollover of the debt. You know, you retire the existing debt and so forth. That's why it's pretty high. And of course, you know, we took out the loan, of course, for the vehicles, which we got last month.
Yeah.
So a lot of those,
Okay.
yeah, so that's the reason for that.
All right.
That's all I have. I just need a motion to accept those reports.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept Brian's reports.
And I'll second it. Okay, Brian, roll call.
Cosgray,
Yes.
Keller.
Yes.
Okay.
I've got a couple things here to bring up on new business once you're done, Brian.
Okay. The second thing is Terry wanted me to bring. We have an ordinance tonight. We'd like to go through council to this. I'm not through tonight. It's an ordinance 2021-14. It's a contract with V3 companies. Basically, in a nutshell, they're getting ready to advertise the bids for the OPDs, but the state is allowing us to also bid for the other streets that we want to budget. And we've got a cost estimate involved with that. I think it's, if I remember correct, $9,600, I believe. So we'd like to go through this committee tonight so we can pass it on up to council and get that approved. So V3 companies can go ahead and get that ball rolling.
And they have actually already, they can't start the engineering in some of the surveying, but they have already actually started some of the preliminary site work, so that as soon as we can submit this to start getting the bids, we can, or get the contract approved, they're ready to start doing the engineering part.
Well, I can make a motion that we take this up to council, 2021-14.
Okay, and I'll second it. And under discussion, put Wade down as a sponsor since he made a motion.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Okay.
And this
roll
is-
call
this
on
is-
motion. Go ahead, Wade.
Yeah, I was just clarifying that this is for preliminary work for V3 to do the paving work.
Right. This is
Engineer.
for the engineering services for our self-pay road projects this year. They're allowing us to bid these with the OPWC, which I think we've already done the contract for V3 to do the OPWC, but now we're adding these onto it basically.
And this is for our portion of that grant.
No, this is for the road projects that we're paying out of our street improvement fund.
Oh, I understood. All righty.
But it's the same engineering company.
Right. That's all I got. Go ahead, Brian, roll call.
Cosgray,
Yes.
Keller.
Yes. Okay, motion carry, and that'd be on council tonight.
Yep.
Okay, that is all we have right now under the new business. I know the mayor said he wanted to bring something up.
I did. Well, I had a couple of things, and that ordinance was actually one of them. So,
okay.
So thanks, Brian. But the other thing is, I don't know if you guys have been seeing the news recently, but there is apparently now a chlorine shortage. And so I had only a few minutes this morning when I was at the water break with Tim and Joey to ask about that, not only for the water plant, but Brad wasn't around, but we need some for the wastewater plant as well, but specifically for the pool. And, you know, the guy said that because of the short life, Joey said that he could order stuff now, but there's such a quick turnaround, we'd get it really quick, but our price of chlorine is going to go up. We just don't know how much until we put the order in. So that's something we'll have to watch throughout the rest of the summer, because our chlorine costs may go up. I know chlorine tablets for pools were more than double the price they were last year already. So, you know, usually that's pretty steady, and we have a good budget number for it, but that's something we'll need to watch is as we go through chlorine, especially at the pool, you know, we might start incurring some additional costs there because of, for whatever reason, the chlorine shortage. So I just wanted to first bring that up to everyone so you guys know. Any questions on that?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
And then my second question was for Brian, where are we at on the plan for switching the employees to the end of year payout for what you guys don't carry over in vacation, sick time, stuff like that?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've thought about it. I haven't come to a resolution yet on it, to tell you the truth. I'm trying to figure that out still.
All right.
I just know that.
Well, what I was gonna say, it's only 6:20. We got a little bit of time. What are some of the plans or how you're thinking of doing it? Maybe we can talk about it and flush it out while we have a few minutes.
Yeah, I would like to talk about that because I'm scratching my head. I mean, I know that I was able to compensate Missy for her from last year out of that. That was a $2,300 budget or $2,300 payout budget hit to the water and sewer fund, and to mostly into the water and sewer funds. I know Brad's anniversary date was last week. I got an email from him to carry over 80 and pay him out 71 hours. I don't know how this is going to work the rest of the year. I'm still struggling.
Well, I was gonna say, since we're in the transition period, what's the downside to saying, okay, this year we pay out on anniversary date, so Brad would get his from last week, but then you prorate it from anniversary date to December 31st to pay out at the end of the year. And then that way in 2022 going forward, it's just paid out in January of the following year as of December 31st.
So
that, or I guess the same method, but converse of it is don't pay out the anniversary now, like using Brad as an example, since his was last week. Don't pay out his 71 hours now and wait until the end of the year and do the proration between last week and December 31st. And that way you're only cutting one check for payout as opposed to two. And then that obviously ends up in the 2022 budget because that's when you'd be paying that out.
Well, like so you're saying prorate the vacation he was supposed to accrue?
Right. So it's at some point, if we're switching from a middle of the year or random dates to the end of the year, at some point we're going to have to prorate everybody's payout to get everybody to December 31st. This is how much vacation time you have available to carry over and pay out the rest. So it carries over. So at some point we're going to have to prorate it. To me, the only question is do you pay out now on their anniversary date and then prorate from anniversary date to the end of the year and then pay that out? Or do you do their payout just at the end of the year, we still got that proration period. Plus now we would have the, like in Brad's example, the 71 hours to add on. It's one check versus two, basically.
When would they receive that check at the end of the year?
So it would be cut then, it would go on in probably the first paycheck in January, because it would be as of December 31st. And so it would go first paycheck of January.
That would help with budgeting in the future, because we could budget for that in the next budget cycle.
Correct. Well, and it gets, like we talked about when we said that we're going to make the switch, it gets everybody to the same date, so we don't have to remember all of these dates and when is it, stuff like that. It's just your carryover is year to year. You know, that's how mine was when I worked at OSU and stuff like that. So, like I said, the question, at least to me, is, do we cut everybody 2 checks for payouts for 2021, or is it just 1 check at the first paycheck of January 22 for all of 2021? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it'd be easier for 1 check at the first paycheck in January.
Well, this is the new ordinance. Is the new ordinance calling to be paid out by the end of the year?
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Was that on last week's or last one's agenda?
I think we had the first reading at the last meeting.
Yes, you're right. This is the second reading because I'm the sponsor. Tonight's going to be the second
Right.
reading.
And is that 11 or 12?
12.
12. All right, let's see here. Attach here too. Let me throw it up here for everyone, and then we can see it here.
Yeah, but usually on your vacation, you work a year. Your vacation is always a year before, isn't it? So on the anniversary date, you work a year, then you start taking a vacation. Is that how it's?
Right. So that's when they would start accruing it.
Yeah.
After that, but then the carryover becomes when it is the payout for everyone. Let's see. No vacation.
So you take Brad. Yeah, you take Brad. You say his anniversary date was just this past week, so that's the end of. You could say end of a 1 quarter. No, 1/3, 4 months. So he's entitled to 9 more months at the end of the year.
Right. So we would prorate it, correct. And then so that way next year it becomes
A full year in.
the whole year.
Yeah.
Now, but when they obviously, when Brad hits 10 years of service, or 5 years, or he's at 5 years, 10 years of service, that doesn't change until his anniversary date, but he would still get, you still get the 16 after 10 years. So his anniversary hits and then he gets the 16 days. It is preferred that all vacation time within 1 year carry up to 80 hours. This request must be in writing by December 1st. Any unused vacation time will be paid out to employees at the end of each year. So, well, Brian, we pay on the 31st of the month, right? In December?
Well, I mean,
or the last business day, I should say.
Yeah, by the last business day.
So it would actually then, reading this, get paid out on their last check of the year. So it would go on this year's budget. And now that we're saying it out loud, I remember having that discussion because we wanted it to be in each year's budget, not the next year's.
Okay.
But so anybody that had vacation in for like the week between Christmas and New Year's, their vacation time is there and in an approved, but anything that they're not carrying over gets paid out on that last paycheck of the year. And so then in 2022, on the last paycheck of the year, they'll get paid out for any vacation time not carried over into 2023 for any of that time that was accrued in 2022. So, and I think I'm kind of with Wade. I guess I can see it both ways. I think one paycheck is easier, but at the same time, I can appreciate, from the employee's perspective, if they are expecting to pay out right now and maybe have even made plans for some of that money for summer vacation or whatever, to delay that, I could appreciate that might be difficult. So a little bit of extra work on our side to do 2 checks, one at their anniversary date this year and one at the end of the year. And then that way everybody knows next year you won't get it until the end of the year. I mean, I can appreciate the difficulty. I know they might plan for it. I don't know. But if I was when I got vacation payout, I know I planned on it. So I guess, like I said, I'm with Wade. I think one check is easier, but I think to be fair to the employees this year and to everybody and stuff like that, we should probably do 2 checks, one on their anniversary date and then one on the last paycheck of the year. That way, if anybody was planning on using that money for something, it's there and they have plenty of time to adjust for next year.
And then moving forward after this, then it would just 1 check a year.
Right. So in 2022, it would just be 1 check on the last paycheck of the year.
Yeah, any vacation they have left that they want paid if they're not carrying it over. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other, honestly.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, I'm in September. So in September, because we get it all at once. So I get all my vacation in September. So if I don't use it, which is 80 hours, I carry it over. Do I get my other vacation January 1st? I mean, because it all comes in one lump. We don't accrue it.
Yes. So that at least that is my intent and how it would work. I know that's how my wife's works. You get all of your vacation on January 1 of the following year to schedule. So
okay, it just seemed like a real bonus there. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah. So for instance, going back to the Brad example of when he hits 10 years, on January 1 of the year he hits 10 years, he would get all 16 days. Right now he gets 15, so he would get an extra day on that year, even able to be used, a couple of months before his anniversary date. Barb's going to get, her days on January 1 and not wait until September.
Yeah, she'll get like she said, she got 80 hours coming in September. She'll get the 80-hour plus the between September and the end of the year. Is that correct? If she don't take anything in September.
Right.
Yep. So she gets about another a third of a year in, a third of the 80 hours. I'm just kind of.
She gets a bonus on January 1 of some extra vacation time, not having to wait till September. Yep.
That's right. Yep.
So using Brad as an example, of course, he gets 15 days. It's 120 hours. So I haven't posted anything in the system yet on because I haven't figured out what to do yet with him. You're saying to prorate his between now and the end of the year, he would get what, 66% of that 120 hours?
So yeah. So he would get, he's got his 15 days. So yes, you would prorate it like that. And so if it's a 2/3 of the year, you know, under the new system, he would have gotten 15 days on January 1. So we're, you know, anniversary date is now your January 1 date for this one transition year. So yeah, doing your proration calculation. So Barb in September would be, you know, September, October, November, December. So that's 4 months. So that's a third. So she would get 1/3. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And then, and January 1, then she would get the full additional whatever she's supposed to get that year.
Correct.
Well, that, I didn't think about that. That would make it easy on me to do it that way for this year. And then I can budget everyone's vacation time accordingly for next year when it comes time. Well, but the payouts though, like Brad, he sent me an email.
Right.
He wants to be paid for, he wants to carry over 80
Mhm.
and get paid the rest. So I'm going to cut him a check now or
Correct.
wait till the end of the year.
Yeah, he wants his money,
You-
yes.
You would do it now because, like I said, some people, some employees, some of you guys and gals may have planned on that payout in, you know, summer vacations or home improvement projects. And I can appreciate that. So I think in this transition year, we should pay out on that anniversary date. So I think you should cut him a check now for the payout,
Okay.
like we would. And then he'll get another one, and everyone will get 2 payouts this year on their vacation time. Their full year from 2020 to 2021, and then the prorated one at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, so Brad, if he wants 80 hours carry over and he got 15 days, that sounds like he wants 1 week pay, he's carrying over 2 weeks, over 10 days. If I'm,
I'll just pull up something here. I got UAN up here. Let's just use Brad as an example. Because we're using Brad as an example. Let's display it. Come on, display. Okay, so right now, Mr. Brad has 164 and a half hours. He wants to carry over 80, which means I would compensate him whatever the difference is, probably 60 some hours. 64.
Yeah, because 80 and 80 would be 160. So that's actually carrying over 84 and a half, or paying out 84 and a half.
84 and a half hours. And I prorate his 120 hours times. Well, he would accrue another, based on this, using him as an example. I would give him another 80 hours for his vacation on his anniversary date. That's what the calculation is, 80 hours.
Mm-hmm. Right.
At the end of the year, if he's over that 80, he can be compensated for whatever, how many hours he is over the 80 again. I'm just trying to keep this straight here. Is that what you're saying?
So he's at 10 days right now, so 80 hours. So, but that 80 hours is prorated. So he's got 1/3 down, right? So he gets 2/3 of that. So that's 60 hours.
Wait,
So yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so I cut him a check this week for the over and above the 80 hours he wants to carry over.
Right.
Give him 80, or what was it? You had that up there. How many he's got? What was his service time? He gets 120 hours. He should have got 120 hours, so I prorated 120 hours. Is that correct?
he gets 15 days because he got 5 years service.
Right. Okay.
So-
5 years. Sorry, I was at the
So
wrong.
at the end of the year, he will get 15 days prorated for about 2/3 of a year. So he'll get about 10 days.
Yeah, that's
in a
what
year.
that's when the 80 hours comes into play. So I'm going to pay him out
Right.
84 and a half, give him another 80 based on the prorated of what his 15 days is 10 days. That makes sense?
Correct.
Then by December 31st, I should get another email from Mr. Kinnison if he's over and above 80. Hey, how many hours do you want to carry over?
Correct.
And they go,
That's
"Okay,
right. Yep.
That seems like a logical to me. It could take
Just think, you only got about 7 employees. You don't have
Yeah.
100.
yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have yeah, we only got a few employees. That would work out.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the best idea that I could. I struggled with it, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm glad we had time to talk about it and flesh it out then.
Yeah. Sure.
So, okay. So sounds like then we got a plan for the ordinance that's on for second reading tonight.
Do you want to go ahead and pass that tonight, or so? Till we got Brad, so we kind of know what people know for sure what's going on or not, or you want to just wait the next meeting and pass it?
I don't know, Brian, what would the auditor say if we said, well, because it's not affecting payouts this year right now, so I think we could let
That's
it
right,
go
yeah.
on for another reading.
Yeah.
That way maybe Brian can do run the calculations for everybody for the third reading of it, just in case there's a question that pops up about the proration or something.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so I really
Sounds good to
can't pay Mr. Kinnison anytime until this ordinance gets passed. Is that correct?
Oh, because under our court, okay. So would the auditors have an issue if we made a motion in council to go ahead and tell you to do that payout while this ordinance is pending?
No, they would not. So
So why don't we do that then? Why don't we do that so that way we can keep the ordinance on for a third reading, so we can make sure, Brian, once you have some more time to sit down with the actual, employee list and payout stuff in an Excel spreadsheet and run it through, make sure there's, no questions on it. But then we can do the motion to go ahead and do the carryover and payout for Brad as a motion at council, so that check can go ahead and get cut for him.
I'm
Does that work
sorry.
for everyone?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I got you.
Okay.
No, it's not your fault.
All right.
Okay, Mayor, do you have anything else you want to bring up under new business?
Nope.
Is that it?
That was it.
Okay. I see Brian on it. You got anything you want to bring up, Brian?
When tonight?
No, the other Brian. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Wait, he's muted. There he is.
I'm unmuted now. Sorry about that. No, I have nothing to bring up about it.
Okay, I just thought I asked because I
Thank you.
saw your name. So,
Thank you, sir.
yep. Okay,
have-
nothing.
I do have one question regarding the legislation that we're going to bring up. It has emergency language on it, but it doesn't need to be passed tonight, so we don't need to suspend 3 reading, right?
on the new ordinance for tonight?
Right, it can go 3 readings, right? Or does it have to be?
We
No.
need to bypass the readings tonight.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Got you.
Good question, but yeah, we need that tonight.
Okay. Okay, Wade, you have anything else you want to bring up during the finance meeting?
No, I'm good to go.
Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, I'll move that we adjourn the finance meeting.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay. Brian,
Huh? Oh, Cosgray,
Yes.
Heller.
Yes. Okay, meeting's adjourned at 6:44.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Thank you. And with no rules agenda, we get about a 45-minute break until council starts. So I'm going to stop the live stream and pause the recording, but I'm going to leave the meeting up. That way, if you guys want to just leave your computer connected while you step away, you don't have to reconnect. All right.
Okay.